Hello, my amazing artists. Today I want to talk about perspective. And when we use perspective in art, we are using the elements form, we're making 3D stuff, and space. We're creating space. So stuff will be in the foreground, middle ground, background, you decide. So think about that, form and space, while we're working on our perspective drawings today. Here is an example of a perspective drawing, just a little doodle I did. It is pretty abstract, so it kind of looks like a city, but maybe not. But I wanted to show you all the different ways you could use perspective. So to use perspective in your artwork, you need a vanishing point. My vanishing point is way over here on the side of the paper, and I'm going to use a Sharpie to draw the dot for you. Boop, boop. You do not have to draw the dot, but it helps you align up your ruler when you are drawing all these fancy lines. So we need a vanishing point because we need a way to line up all of our lines on our shapes so they're all moving in the correct direction. So to get this started, you're going to need a big old piece of paper. You're going to need a pencil. I would highly recommend getting a ruler because I don't know about you, but I have trouble drawing straight lines by myself. So I would recommend getting a ruler. You can also use a Sharpie if you would like to, but I'm going to start in a pencil. I'm going to draw my lines pretty dark so you can see what I'm doing, but I would recommend for you to draw them very lightly because we're going to do some erasing, so make sure you've got a good eraser on your pencil. All right, first things first, ladies and gents, we need a horizon line. So this line here shows us the difference between the ground and the sky. So let's draw our horizon line. I'm going to hold my paper portrait this way, just because that's the way I want to hold it, but you decide how you want to hold your paper. See that? All right. There's my horizon line. It's a horizontal line that goes all the way across the paper. So now I need to decide where my vanishing point is. So on this paper, the vanishing point is way over in the corner. That's a little tricky. So I'm going to show you a really easy way where the vanishing point is in the center. So I'm going to draw my dot in the center of my paper. Now I need some sort of road or path or river to get to that spot. Alrighty, so we've chosen our vanishing point in the center. So I'm going to draw a road, just because that's pretty simple to get there. I'm going to draw a diagonal line. So to draw this road, I need to line up my ruler with my dot, and then I can decide where this other point is going to be. If I want a skinny road, I'm going to bring it to the center. If I want a wide road, I'm going to bring it out to the side. I'm going to kind of just make it go towards this corner here. All right, so there's one side of my road. And usually you want to try to keep things pretty even, symmetrical, the same on both sides. All right, so there's my road. So now I'm going to start filling in the stuff on the sides. So I need buildings, houses, stuff like that. So to draw a house in this perspective with the vanishing point in the middle, all of our lines need to be going towards that vanishing point. So let me bring over a quick example. So in this piece of paper, I have a house or a building on this side and the beginning of a building on the other side. So when I drew my first rectangle, I didn't need to worry about the vanishing point. I just made the lines really straight, and that is the side of my house. Most buildings face the street. So think about this like a main street. You're walking down Main Street and you want to go into a building. The door will be near the street. So when I draw this side of my building, I need it to be at an angle because we're moving down the road this way. So all of the buildings will be also pointed that way. So I've got to line up that roof of my building all the way to that line. But I didn't draw the line all the way down to the vanishing point. I only drew it as far as I needed to until the building stopped, and then I drew a straight line down. So let's try that here. On this side of the building, I drew the face, but I didn't draw that side. So let's make sure we do that side first. So I'm going to draw one over here. So I'm going to draw a straight line up and down, as tall as I want my building to be, touching the street. I'm going to do another one, maybe, yeah, right here. And I want them pretty even. So I'm going to draw a straight line across, connecting those two. See how that line's a little bumpy, and we're just going to go back and fix it with my ruler. There we go. Okay. So now we've got that. This horizon line now is crossing in the middle of our building. We don't want that. Our building is in front of that horizon. So I'm going to erase that. Okay. So now to draw the front of our building, this angled part here, we're going to come to the top corner of our building, and we're going to draw a line that matches up with the vanishing point. Okay, so my building doesn't go all the way down the street. It's going to stop here, let's say. So once I've picked a point on my line, I'm going to line it up, my ruler, with that point and draw a straight line down back to the street. Okay, so this is the face of our building. This is the side of our building. And this line we don't need anymore, so I'm going to erase it. Okay, I'm also going to erase this part of the horizon line because our building is in front of it. Okay, pretty good so far. So if this is the front of the building, I think we need a door. So I'm going to draw two straight lines. And now I need to make sure that those line up at the top with my vanishing point right there. So I'm going to find, this is a little tricky sometimes. There we go. And now I'm going to erase that. Okay, maybe you want to draw a doorknob, something like that. Same thing if you were to draw a window. The sides are straight up and down, but then you need to make sure those bottom and top lines line up with your vanishing point. And then you can erase any little extra lines. Check it out. Something like that. Maybe we want to make it something a little straighter. Something with curtains, maybe. I don't know, you decide. Okay, so I think we've got the basic idea of how to draw a building. Let me show you one on the other side. All right, let's draw another building here. So I'm going to start with my side of my building. I'm going to draw this a little wider, I think. Yeah, like right there. All right, so again, I'm going to draw that line down. These two lines. There we go. Match it up right there. Now I'm going to erase. All right, so then the side, right, the top is flat. Flat top there. So this is the front, this is the side. I'm going to erase the horizon line. All right. When you're drawing windows or doors on the side of the house, it helps to make sure that all of those angles are straight up and down. You don't need to bring them to the horizon line because it's not on the face of the building. It's on the front of the building. Anything you draw in the background, remember, is going to be smaller than what you have in the foreground. So if you draw a plane up in the sky, it's going to be smaller than your buildings, right? It's up there way, way, way in the distance. Same thing if you draw a sun or some clouds, right? Something like that. If you draw some buildings way back here, they're going to be smaller. So if I draw a building here, we want that to be smaller. Oops, that's a little too tall, huh? All right, we want that to be smaller than this building in front. Foreground, middle ground, background. Way in the back here, right? Okay, guys, I think you get the idea. I'm also going to post some more pictures about using vanishing points and perspective drawing, so you can get some more ideas about what you could create with this type of landscape art. All right, guys, good luck. Have fun. I can't wait to see your landscape perspective artwork.